Donald Trump and Ted Cruz carried Texas, and Republicans made more gains in the legislature. This is Wednesday, November 6th, 2024.
Texas Scorecard presents the day's first news for the Lone Star State. The Texas Minute, with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.
Welcome into Wednesday. Thanks for spending part of it with the Texas Minute. I know you're most interested in the elections, so we'll start with those, but stick around to learn about the possibility for nuclear power in the Lone Star State. On his way to a national victory, Donald Trump scored a big win in Texas last night. This was more important than ever, given the state's population growth, and therefore it's now 40 votes in the Electoral College. Trump posted a double-digit win over Kamala Harris with Texas voters. Meanwhile, Ted Cruz is headed for a third term in the U.S. Senate after beating Colin Allred by 10 points. Republicans also dominated the statewide judicial elections, making a clean sweep of the Court of Criminal Appeals and the Supreme Court. As an aside, it's been 30 years now since a Democrat last won a statewide race in Texas. Republicans made important gains in South Texas in yesterday's election, expanding majorities in both the Texas Senate and the Texas House. In a rematch from 2022, Republican Adam Hinojosa defeated Democrat incumbent Morgan LaMontia for the Senate District 27 seat. This takes the GOP majority in the Texas Senate to 20 seats with just 11 Democrats. Similarly, Don McLaughlin and Denise Villalobos have flipped two South Texas House seats. Both those seats had been held by Democrats who opted not to seek re-election. The Texas Minute will be right back with some non-election news.
The Luke Macias Show is your access to what happens behind closed doors in Texas politics. Listen weekly to me, your host, Luke Macias, as I break down what is actually happening in conservative politics in the Lone Star State, a state that we all love and cherish. Listen weekly wherever you listen to podcasts. This show is a product of Texas Scorecard.
A new economic analysis of sports gambling finds that it has a destructive impact on households and long-term financial well-being, a trend that increases when the practice is legalized. The academic paper is called Gambling Away Stability. It was produced by researchers from Northwestern University, the University of Kansas, and Brigham Young University. As has been found in other studies, this new paper finds online sports betting firms prey on the vast majority of bettors' biases and their lack of skill, while specifically excluding skilled bettors from placing wagers. This new study also finds evidence that states can expect potential revenues from sports betting to be offset by, quote, lost tax revenue on investment income and the public costs of managing overextended borrowers. That's because, the authors say, legalized sports betting leads to a diversion of funds away from savings and investment accounts. This is important right now because lawmakers loyal to Texas House Speaker Dade Phelan have been pushing to legalize sports betting in Texas come 2025. A new set of studies from the Texas Public Policy Foundation suggests that expanding nuclear power in the Lone Star State could sustain Texas' growing population and economy. Texas currently has 4 nuclear reactors. 2 are located at the Comanche Peak Nuclear Facility southwest of Fort Worth, and the other 2 are located at the South Texas Project between Bay City and Matagorda. With subsidies for unreliable wind and solar energy taking up financial resources, nuclear energy has faced an economic hurdle. It's more expensive to set up, but it's far more reliable. The Texas Public Policy Foundation recommends that the state co-locate small nuclear energy plants alongside industrial facilities. You can find the details of this story and the others mentioned today and keep up with the latest news by visiting TexasScorecard.com. This edition of the Texas Minute was produced by Nick Shepard and based on the original reporting of Brandon Waltons, Will Biagini, Luca Cacciatore, Sidney Henry, Daniel Greer, and Addie Hovland. I look forward to seeing you out around the Lone Star State. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the first news of the day for the Lone Star State. This has been the Texas Minute with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.